Welcome to another episode of E-commerce Squeezed. I'm your host, Sebastian, founder of Retail Outsource, and today we have a very special guest who is a pro in the Amazon world. Joining us today is Mark Daniel, the founder of Inels, an Amazon marketing agency based in Copenhagen, Denmark. Mark has a rich background of helping Amazon sellers and in digital, and have a passion and innovation in leadership and strategic thinking. Welcome to the show, Mark.
Thank you very much for a great introduction, Sebastian, and thanks for having me.
That's great. Thanks. Could you just give us a background about yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Very shortly, running an Amazon agency Inels for the last 5.5 years. So it will be 6 years this January. But before this, I've been working in one small e-commerce company in Copenhagen, and I learned how to sell on Amazon. I saw a great potential first that not many agencies are offering service to expand through Amazon on European or other marketplaces. In Nordics, there have been no agencies like this. Especially in Denmark, there have been maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 agencies. So I decided to start this agency together with my partner, and then it was my first business, and I was learning quite a lot how to get clients, how to prove that we are actually good Amazon experts. So first 2 years, it was mostly about developing the concepts, developing the sales plan, and creating good showcases. And I would say for the last 3-4 years, we have a really a lot of great clients. We manage more than 60 cases, but we always have around 25 clients, do not want to take more, and we generate approximately $4 million per year on Amazon in revenue. We don't have huge clients, but we really focus on profitability and long-term goals for the clients, and of course we provide a full service, so clients don't need to go anywhere else, meaning that we provide different services such as VAT, registration and declaration. If the company needs translations, if the company needs a graphic design, we have a graphic designer in-house, as you know, and other sellers know. Infographics and content on Amazon is very important. And of course, core of our service is account management, is PPC, all the technical aspects of Amazon marketing itself, and logistics as well. It's a big part. So yes, happy to run this business and develop more and more. Right now, having a team of 12 people. And 7 of them are in operations. So we have really smart account managers. All of them have experience of at least 4 years working with Amazon and have their own private labels or different interesting experiences in the past. But right now, 2 account managers, logistics manager, PPC manager, and a lot of different processes that we are developing and going to develop further by learning what is happening in industry and trying to provide a really great service for companies who are interested in Amazon and in expansion.
That's great. And I was scrolling through your LinkedIn post, and I saw that initially you sent around 600 emails to potential clients without no signups. So you have gone through a lot of, you have tested it, right? So yes. That's great to know. My first question will be, how established Amazon is on Denmark marketplace?
It's a good question, since many companies in Denmark, e-commerce companies, they're a little bit skeptical still, and it was even more 5 years ago, about expanding to Amazon, since Amazon is not so popular in Denmark, and there is no marketplace. There is no Amazon.dk. There are different small web shops, there are different small marketplaces where people are used to buy, and Amazon is not in a top 3 or 5 even. And people are right now more and more likely to buy over the years. Before this, and always it was that Danish customers can buy on Amazon Germany, and there is a special button on the left where you can tick to provide a free delivery if the order value is more than 39 euros on special products, mostly with FBA. But and of course many Danes have been using it. But of course, with the Swedish launch, which happened approximately, I think, 3 years ago, people have been more aware, and especially in Sweden right now. But what we see, speaking about Nordics in general, is that still Amazon Sweden is a very small market. Amazon tries to put a lot of effort into attracting more and more users to Amazon Sweden, but as we also know, it takes time. It takes time, and people need to get used to Amazon and need to switch this behavior. So Of course, when, for example, we work with the Danish clients, we don't often consider Sweden and say that maybe your first Amazon market should be Germany or UK, as of course biggest European Amazon markets. But we also see that because of this, Danish companies are actually skeptical, and that's why important to say that recently we started to work with more clients from all over Europe. I would say mostly Northern Europe, like Sweden, Denmark, UK, Eastern European companies like Latvia, Czech Republic, and US clients. So we expanded our reach and work with many different clients from across US, Europe, because in Denmark it's still hard to close the sale, even if you see there is a 100% potential on Amazon for such a certain brand. Unfortunately, sometimes company can say why we need to expand to even Germany or UK on Amazon if I have Nordics, and everyone is happy about Nordics. It's one of the biggest e-commerce landscape. I think there is data that in Nordics it's the highest spend per customer on e-commerce sites. And that's why if the Danish customers are actually, the Danish companies are actually selling in Denmark, the next steps for them are usually to go with their own web shop to Norway and Sweden and Finland, and then they want to cover it fully, but sometimes they're even skeptical about UK and Germany.
That's great. To follow up on the things that you mentioned, you mentioned about customers buying from Amazon Germany or from Amazon Sweden. So my question will be: is there any language barrier? Like, if it's written in German, for example, how can they, translate it, or do Danish people know German already?
Yeah, so of course, in German, most of the listings are written in German, and it needs to be, if you want to sell in German, of course, it needs to be in German. But what is happening with Amazon, and there is an option for the end consumers, for the customers, when they are having their account on Amazon, there is a settings next to the search bar on Amazon to the right, and then you can always choose to have it in English and German. Same goes for Swedish, and of course, we want to make sure that they're both languages always. But of course, it's better to have a native language and have a great keyword research and translations into the native language. And then Amazon is also doing a great job right now on translating it automatically with AI and providing an English version. Just as we always know, sometimes it's not appearing and we need to reach out to customer support, sales support, but that's how it works.
That's great. Thank you. So let's assume that I'm a seller in the US. Okay, I'm quite established in the US. I want to launch in the European market. So what's the first thing that you will recommend them to do?
Yes, of course, it's a great expansion, because sometimes you can have a ceiling, reach the ceiling in Amazon US, and then see if you want to target for more keywords or advertise or scale your revenue even more. It's just simply too expensive, and maybe it makes sense to expand to markets like, sometimes we say Canada or Mexico, where it's a little bit more complicated because of tax registrations, but also Europe. And the biggest markets, UK, Germany. But with Europe, the great advantage is that it's very easy to launch and expand to all European marketplaces. Biggest are UK, Germany, and then we go France, Italy, and Spain, 5 biggest. And then what you need to have is to have a VAT registration. And for European companies, it's easier to register. If you are outside of a country, you need to have a VAT registration first at one of the countries where you want to ship your products to. But for US customers, you need to have an address. And that's a little bit more difficult for VAT experts to help with this, because there are more complications involved in the registration process, but it's definitely possible. And of course, we do it in-house as well. And important to say that, of course, this is the first thing, register the VAT. And what we recommend is sometimes to look into Germany even more than UK, because if you're already having VAT number in the UK and you're shipping your products to UK and it's a great market, you have a great sales, you can make a cross-border to France, Italy, and Spain, and make sure that it's distributed from the warehouses in UK to those countries, but you cannot open it for Germany, because in Germany, besides the VAT, you also need to have a tax ID, which is called Steuernummer. in Germany. It's the only country where you need to have a tax registration, and if you have it together with VAT, you can sell there because of tax ID, but also store your products, and you can ship to Germany and then have easily cross-border sales to all other countries. Even in the UK, where it was not allowed after Brexit, right now, for most of the categories, it's possible again.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. So if you want to select one country, so for the European Union, for example, you have to register for VAT in different countries. So if you want to just select one country to first launch your product, which country will be that in Europe?
So definitely UK or Germany, but
Okay.
as the biggest ones in terms of demand and search volumes and etc. But it also really depends on your strategy and the product. Sometimes we had a case where supplements are going very well in Italy, and we had many cases like this actually. Because in Italy, there are really high demand for supplements. People they like to eat and drink, and at the same time, they like to buy a lot of different supplements to keep them healthy. But there is low competition. And as we know, supplement is the most competitive niche on Amazon. So even in the UK and Germany, but sometimes you can have a really easy and great launch. But of course, also need to evaluate and see specifically, make this niche research and see what is the best market based on this.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was thinking about vitamin D. For example, if it's an Italian customer, they don't need vitamin, right? Compare that to Germany or Denmark, they might consume a lot of vitamin D.
Exactly.
That's great. And in terms of the ease of registering for VAT, I think it will be still Germany. What do you think? Do you recommend any other countries like Belgium, Netherlands?
So you need to register first VAT in one country where you ship your products to. Then later, if you see that there is a cross-border sales in other countries, it's great to register there. And there is a different thresholds. I don't remember these thresholds. Our VAT expert advises on it because it changed right now. But let's say approximately around different countries, it's 10,000 euro in sales, which is not much per year. And if you exceed it, you need to register in these countries as well. So if you, for example, sell from Germany to Belgium or Netherlands or Czech Republic, Poland, you need to register VAT there as well after some time. But a good thing about the pan-European and what we really like is that after selling some time and you have great sales in Germany, UK, France, Italy, and Spain as 5 biggest, you can register VAT in all of these countries, and also Poland, Czech sometimes, and then enable a pan-European program there, meaning that you can ship only to one warehouse, let's say in Germany, and Amazon will distribute your products among different marketplaces. So ship some units to UK, to France, to Italy, based on the demand. You will be locally as possible to the customer, and meaning that they also will be Prime eligible, and you will have products within 1 to 3 days of shipping in most of the cases, and it's quite convenient and easy expansion. You also don't need, in some cases, even translations because Amazon might translate it. Of course, you need to check it, and in the best case scenario, you also need to make images which are local language.
Oh, that's great. And in terms of the FBA cost, like Germany, in Germany, the FBA cost, the pick and pack and fulfillment cost might be different compared to Poland, right? Which one will be more cost effective? Which country will be more cost effective in terms of FBA?
It's a good question. I believe our logistics manager would be such a perfect expert on this and would probably speak for hours because she's checking our different things like FBA fees and what is the most profitable solution on I would say even like weekly or monthly basis. But it's really depends. As I remember, UK was a bit better than European ones, but now it really depends because there's so many different, I would say, hidden rocks when it comes to fees on logistics. Once you have an FBA fee, there is a local FBA fee and there is a cross-border FBA fee, but then you have reimbursements. Then you have also like different categories. Maybe like you can go for a small and light program for small products and have a special FBA fee, and then you have different sizes that you can have for. So I cannot say exactly right now. we look based on the product again, and based on the product we would also suggest, and and you also need to draw a line on what are the fees and what is the expectations of this market, because maybe the FBA fees might be a bit higher in a certain country, but at the same time PPC might be cheaper. So to look at more holistic point of view of profit and loss statement, and look at what actually the break-even plan for your business on Amazon and when it can happen.
That's a very good, holistic view. There are a lot of factors, right, involved to make that decision. Yeah, that's great. The reason I asked you, because I saw a recent news from Amazon saying that they have cut the FBA cost on Poland by 50%. They didn't give an end date, but it's carry on. So that's something nice, right, for the sellers who are launched in the Poland market. My next question will be, let's assume that we have the product ready, we have done the market research, we have selected the country, so we want to launch the product. What are the factors that you have to look for when launching in the Europe?
Yes, I maybe first would like also to comment on the previous one about the logistics fees, and say one more thing, that it's great about Poland, but in the end, we also see that FBA fees are changing quite often, and they've been growing as well for the last 2, 3, 4 years. So, but just a small note, that's why I couldn't give an exact number, because it's changing, and it gives a little bit different overview right now than it even was 1 year ago. But launching in Europe, so as we spoke right now, it's interesting to consider which market it would be. And it, of course, the first market, which it could be based on the, I would say, ratio between supply and demand. What is the search volumes and what is the sales by the direct competitors? Benchmark study and understand which competitors are actually the most similar to you and what they can sell for, what kind of revenues they generate, and maybe even analyze their PPC strategies and to understand what or how much they're actually spending on ads. By, for example, looking in a pay-per-click, you can quite easily do it, for example, in Helium, to do the reverse ASIN lookup and see in the competitor what kind of keywords they're ranking on, targeting, and then there is, of course, calculations that can be done by looking how much actually PPC pay-per-click is for these keywords. And but of course, also maybe your product is very interesting design, and we always want to look at from the product point of view. Maybe it has some special, unique, but offers or features, or a great design, great packaging, and great proposition. And of course, look at the brand searches as well. If people are already searching for this product. So by saying this, I would say that it's very important to also understand like how you can differ, right? And choose the market. Once you did this, make really like this differentiation, this value proposition of your product a key. Of course, put it everywhere in the title, in descriptions, in pictures, among the keywords that you have gathered, you have collected. Design a brand store and A+, and it's very important right now as well. As always, speak about the brand. I don't think that it's right now possible to sell successful in Amazon without the brand registry. As maybe it was like even maybe 5 years ago, it was probably. Right now it's the branding part is very important. And yes, then of course the launch is, as always, having a very great listing, making sure that you target for the right keywords, increase your organic rank, and evaluate your data, do the cycles, and understand how else you can develop both listing, PPC, and in general your account on Amazon.
Great, thank you. I have a follow-up question on that. You mentioned about the brand registry, right? Comparing to a non-brand registered. Can you tell us, what are the pros and cons for having any one of those?
Yes, sure. It's of course more and more difficult to sell on Amazon every year, and there are more competitors. And I would say maybe even like 2-3 years ago, there was a big spike in Amazon sellers in general. I mean, it's still happening. We see that a lot of new sellers want to come in on the market, but we love to be an agency and to work with the bigger brands. because those brands, they speak about and they look into the brand strategies for many, many years, usually, or for at least for a couple of years, and they develop the branding besides Amazon, and they of course develop the content, and what really helps us in many cases. So meaning that there is a great content, which is not only on the listing, which is on the brand store. There are great videos explaining what is the company about, maybe telling a bit more about the founders, maybe telling more about the values and what this product is for. And people can engage with the content much more than, of course, without. And you cannot put so much content on the product listing. That's why A Plus and the brand store is so crucial. I'm not even speaking about other benefits of Amazon brand registry, such as wine, where you can get, for example, reviews so fast as with a completely legal marketing way to get reviews fast. But to summarize this all, I would say that I would bring an example that I like, that when you run PPC with a sponsored product, you have sales right now that are happening. Once you turn it off, you will lose sales. If you run sponsored brands, you're increasing the brand awareness, and you are doing the branding strategy that will work even when you will not have ads. People will have your brand stick in their heads, and they might more likely be not anymore new to brand orders. They might be repeating orders and still be curious, and even go outside of Amazon and still buy your brand on other channels.
That's a great explanation of having a brand registry. And most of these sellers, when they are launching, they ignore that part. So that you give a great insight on that. Thank you. And my next question will be: we have to plan for the marketing budget, right? For example, it's on Amazon, it will be the advertising cost. How can we calculate how much marketing budget we need to have? For example, if we want to launch on Amazon Germany.
Mm-hmm. It's a very great question. I mean, for us, it's very interesting. We always do it when we are working with a new client. We are planning the budget, and if it's a completely new customer, we are planning the break-even point, how much you need to invest before you actually get profitable. Very difficult to answer it with one word, because from the technical point of view, the PPC manager of ours and very, very good PPC managers, they know how to calculate the approximate budget. They know how to do this formula, which is understanding the cost per click, understanding how many clicks you need in order to rank for the specific keywords, and then they see the results, how much it is revenue. Very easy formula at the first sight, and you can always see cost per click. You can always see the rankings in Kilium, reverse ASIN, or tracking keywords. Yes. But in reality, it is a little bit different, because there are some black swans. You not always can predict how it's gonna sell for the specific PPC strategy, because listings are important. How people will react to your product, how people will react to certain keyword and certain products. So maybe you want to try a little bit different keyword that is still relevant, but maybe people will not find the match there. And yeah, it's difficult to say. What I would like to say is that how we are doing with the different brands. Start from 80-100% tacos, or maybe like approximately, and it might be still enough, because we speak here with the aggressive launch for the product ranking, and then go down over the months. Over the year, 1.5 year, go to 20% tacos. You can be less successful, you can be more successful, but this is a very generic brackets and borders that we are giving to our potential clients, or even clients that we already signed. That let's start with this one, and we go to 20%, and then once everything is done and we already have a great revenue, what would be the best the best advertising level, if it's 10%, if it's 5%, or is 30%. And also when you speak about this optimization percentage of PPC spend, it's maybe also important to note that you can not only play with the PPC as your P&L, but you can also play with the price. Sometimes people are saying, or companies are saying, let's increase our PPC from 20 to 25% as a tacos. Maybe we have less margins, but we have more sales. But sometimes they forget, let's maybe decrease by 5% our price and keep the same tacos and test it this way. So again, looking at the P&L and the product as on a holistic point of view, and plan the budget from the beginning based on the technical side, but also realistic side, and trying to adapt on the way.
That's great. Thank you. And regarding, when you launch a product, right, we want to get some external traffic. So which all to drive traffic from external traffic to Amazon. So which all platform do you recommend, or do you have any other tips on that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Right now, it's developing quite a lot. Of course, first we are working only with Amazon ads in most of the cases. Again, we work with companies who, in many cases, might have already brand searches, but then later on, we look for the specific ways to attract traffic. And of course, TikTok is very big right now. I think everyone is speaking on LinkedIn or an Amazon community about the TikTok. Recently, I saw this announcement that you can even buy product inside TikTok, which is amazing. I don't really saw it on my phone how it can happen. But of course, we are looking for TikTok and looking for affiliates and looking for asking companies if they already have a social media pages. Are they fine with bringing traffic to Amazon? Because to be honest, many companies might be saying that they want to bring traffic to webshop because they have better margins there. But then we need to sometimes look at a different point of view and say, okay, you have better margins on your webshop, but actually this traffic that you might bring to Amazon might increase your organic rank, meaning that you will have much better sales and better margins on Amazon as well, but in the future. So I would say social media, affiliate marketing, and social media besides TikTok is of course Instagram as well. And we don't do so much right now, Facebook or Google, but I believe there is still space for it. And of course, there are still great opportunities to come for external traffic.
Oh, great. Thank you. And the next stage will be brand awareness, right, on Amazon to get the brand awareness. So what are the things that we can do to get that exposure on Amazon?
It's an interesting question. With the brand awareness, it's always difficult, and sometimes it's difficult to track, and sometimes it is difficult to gain. So one thing I would outline is customer loyalty, and do different things and try to see how you can provide a better value for the customer. From the old school ways of putting a little card in a product and having a better packaging that is pleasurable for end consumer to receive and open, till different strategies of, for example, retargeting ads and providing a good story that is easy to follow up on the brand store in A+ content, and try also to see how emotions can be engaged in this process, meaning that I mentioned make a video about the founders or how the company has been created, and make a warehouse overview, or maybe tell more about why we actually care about our values as a company and what are our values, and of course bring traffic there. Try make some call to actions on Amazon brand store. It might be just a link to the product, but that's all can be can be used. And of course, we see that people are also going to outside of Amazon and Googling your brand sometimes, and it's great to have there also great web shop. Even if you're only seller on Amazon, have a landing, have different stories there. And there you can make even more call to actions. We can ask for emails. We can have different forms and engage people even further in a customer journey.
That's great. Thank you. And my next question will be, the pricing strategy. So, do you want to launch the product with a lower price and then increase it gradually, or should you mainly focus on the Amazon side for PPC?
Yes, I would say that, of course, a better price gives better results. But we like to say that we are not competing on price with our products, with our brands. We are competing on brand. And it's partly true also because sometimes we don't have a choice. We actually work with the brands where they have their own pricing policy, retail price policy. And sometimes they are not flexible at all to adjust the price for Amazon. We are fighting with many clients, especially those who don't know Amazon, and we try them to convince that we need to have a better intro price. And they are saying, no, we cannot do this because people will see that we are doing a tricky marketing there, different prices across the platforms. Therefore, we don't have much practice on this, but we of course know that to make a great launch, start with aggressive PPC as much as you can on the right keywords, of course, with the polished listing. And polished listing also means a great price, which is price competitive. But also what is very important in this point is to see what is the product offering and what is the price for this. This is a great point, but let's make an example. You have supplements and you have different amount of capsules in one jar. Try to understand not just the price, understand how much capsules, how much it is for one capsule, right? Or you have, I don't know, pregnancy tests that we're selling as well. Try to understand there is pack of 3, pack of 5, pack of 10. How much is for each package? And then see how much they're offering. If you have a package of 3, competitor has a package of 5. Try to see how much you are paying for, you're offering for one test and how much they're offering for one test. Try to compare that. And then there are different strategies there. And it can even work for the body cream, for example. You have a bigger size, kind of like how it's called, like not a cap, but like a bottle. And then the smaller size of the bottle. What is the price for this and this? And sometimes it can work that even if it is a smaller package, much smaller package, but also price is less, it's great for people to make a first decision and go for it.
That's great. My next question will be, we want to build our customer base, right, on Amazon. So for example, if you're selling a vitamin tablets, so there might be reoccurring purchases. So what all tools we can use within Amazon to increase the customer base?
Yeah, so of course we track new to brand orders, very important, very, very important thing to follow. But of course, the key is in the product, and we cannot do nothing if people don't like the product. And I think reviews, they show it all. And of course, people need to be engaged with they need to like product, basically saying. And then there are different tools, as you know, maybe subscribe and save, a really nice one for people to purchase it on a monthly basis. And then different things, how you can actually make people into the CRM system, but we are not doing it much right now with Amazon rules and etc. Before this, we used a lot of different email invitations from different tools, such as Feedback 5 and others that worked well. Right now we are not doing it. We see that people they're just Amazon ecosystem is great in this way, that you always people they will see this product later on, even if they purchased on. Maybe they will go to their orders. Maybe they will just see it again somewhere in ads or in an organic space. So they're more likely to buy the product, or at least see the product again to remind them for this. And then there are retargeting ads that I mentioned, which are great to use as well.
Great. The Rufus, right? Rufus is rolling out. It's available on Amazon US, and they're planning to roll out in the Europe in the near future. So my question will be, how can we optimize our listing to satisfy Rufus and to get in what are the points that we have to keep in mind?
Sorry, Rufus was standing for...
Oh, it's an AI?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I think I saw this one, and I think we just recently have been speaking about this in our team, but I don't have, to be honest, here an answer for this.
Yeah.
Just because I think we had a post, but we didn't study this so much yet.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all are waiting for it to launch, right? Then we'll get an idea what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, that's great. And in terms of tools for Amazon sellers, what are the main tools that they should have?
I would say there should be some third-party tools involved in managing your Amazon business. One should
Mm-hmm.
be in regards to analytics. If you manage different SKUs and different marketplaces, it's great to bring it in one place. There are different tools that different people use. We use Merchant Spring, and then of course it allows you to evaluate data a little bit better. And then one tool we use Helium, which allows to track keywords and rank. I think it's one of the most important metric. And another tool, it's for PPC and for logistics. For PPC, there still should be some certain automation. I believe that PPC cannot do 100% of your work, but at least some 20-30% of the work definitely. And then there is a logistics management. It can be tracked even in Excel files, but of course there are different tools, and there needs to be a very clear standard procedure on the forecasting and tracking your inventory plans.
That's great. And to follow up on the Helium 10, they have that feedback automator, right? There's a tool. So what's your opinion on that, to automate the feedback request?
Yeah, sorry, on which tool?
On Helium 10?
Yes. We are not really using it so much again because our account managers, they don't, we spoke that maybe not so important at the moment for us.
Okay, that's great. And what are the books that you recommend for business owners that comes to your mind? If you can suggest a few books, please.
It's a great question. I think it was just before the webinar writing another post for my LinkedIn article. It's a startup success, and I was actually writing. I just read, I think, the best book that for this year that I read. It's a Black Swan about it's about the trading, but philosophy. But it says nothing about the trading. More or less, it says more about how you need to think and predict future outcomes and maybe plan a little bit better. So I will make a post, and feel free to check it out. And maybe for others, for other listeners or those who are watching, to subscribe to my newsletters. I have another one which is about Amazon, but I think this one is definitely no-brainer, and one of the best books I read this year.
Yeah, funny enough, means I have that book here as well. I think it's written by something Talib.
Talib Nicole. Yeah, he's from Lebanon, and he also speaks about his childhood and how he transferred it to different to his life right now, and how different interesting, well-known professors or investors reacted to his book, because he actually break down all the stereotypes about how the black swans needs to be predicted, which cannot be predicted basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's great. And it means you have a community, right, for Amazon sellers. Could you just give us a little more details on that, please?
Yes, feel free to join our community on School. We launched only a couple of months ago, and getting more and more people. Right now, I think we have 80 or 90 people, which are for Amazon sellers. Doesn't matter which stage you are, but we want to create a community where people can share their knowledge, can answer other questions, and help others. We have video tutorials and classes there, which we're going to have even more. And from different team members of ours, we will have different calls. And right now, from the 1st of September, we are launching a PPC challenge, 2 weeks, 10 days. And there will be 2 different calls each week, so 4 calls basically, with the homework, and then the best, the person who is more active and who actually increased their roles in PPC the most will get a prize, which will be a free service and free guidance by our team. And then I believe we will launch even more. We already have spoken about even more interesting challenges later on this year, and many interesting prizes. So really want to engage people, create a great community, and everyone feel free to join and say hi and give us feedback what you want to see there as well.
Great. I will put the link in the description in the show notes. But does it spell like SKOOL, school?
Yes.
Or
yes,
school? Okay, great.
It's everything in one platform, from being able to make a post till having calls there and calendar there, and also the leaderboard and the classrooms there, different modules.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I'll put the link in the description. And regarding your LinkedIn, I will also put the link in the profile and agency, that's Inels. You will find the link in the description as well. Uh, Thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks a lot, Mark. For I got confused with the Mark Daniel, right? So I was calling your surname. So thanks a lot, Mark, for your time. Really appreciate all your insights.
At the same, Sebastian. Thanks for inviting. I think it was great speaking with you, and looking forward to more of your podcasts. Really nice what you're doing. I believe we need more interesting discussions and different insights from Amazon sellers and experts.
Great. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Have a good one.